Well, I'm not perfect by any means, but I think one thing that's very hard too is that when you're dealing with people and like you're reliant on someone, right? Where, okay, perfect example, we were in Haiti and we're trying to get our lights out, and we had done everything proper through customs, paid the VAT tax, like everything. And then the clearance guy in Haiti just is like, no, you didn't pay. You need to pay. And we're like, no, we paid. Here's this information. He's like, no, you paid them, but you now owe this person, you know this person. And you absolutely positively know that this is corruption and that they are trying to take advantage. And it's a struggle because you're like, well, do we pay? Because then by paying, you're reinforcing the behavior, right? So not only do you hurt yourself, but you hurt the next person, right? But then it's very difficult because it's like, all right, we've spent all this time, money, and effort, right, to get here. We've got a crew of 12 people. We've got all these thousands of people are waiting on lights, right? It's a very difficult choice, right? But then we were like, well, we're going to have to do this to get these lights out. I mean, we literally tried everything and we could not get it. We absolutely could not get it. But what happened from that is a company heard about our experience because, man, I went right online and I wrote about it. And I was really honest and I was really truthful. And now we have a company in Haiti that were like, we will clear all of the lights for you guys to come through. You know? And it is hard. You know, it is hard when you're dealing with those things. But I guess what I try and remember is many of those people that are like that, they're like that because they have no other opportunities. And they see you as an opportunity, and if that opportunity disappears, they're back in a situation that is worse than I can imagine.
What great insight that you can wrap your mind around that, because it was
good. I just want to bring something up real quick for that. I mean, that's a great, how we talk about our why, right? Our why and what we do. And just, I mean, you're just a perfect example of following that why and being grounded in it, which I think is really important for people that are listening. It's like once they find that, and like you have to get so grounded in it, because there's going to be a lot of things that you can do, a lot of things that are going to come up that you don't want to do. But as long as you know your purpose and why you're doing it, that's what's, you know, and keeping that in mind is what's going to allow you to try everything.
Yeah.
You know, and do whatever it takes to make sure, and then you know see the blessing at the end. So I think it's just an important lesson for people to stay grounded in their why, or figure it out if you don't have one.
And also the other thing is too, what I would say is to figure out their why, right? Because like there's been a couple times where, I mean, like some people can be so aggressive, right? About like even the guys, you know, that we've worked with, where they're like, they're good workers, they're, you know, we're paying them to be a driver or, you know, an assistant or whatever, and they are like, they're on you every moment about getting more money or getting this. And there's been a couple times where I've had to say to them, I'm like, you know, you just stop, like, don't treat me as an opportunity, treat me as a partner, because I'm gonna come back. Right? Yep. We're gonna come back here. And if you continue to treat me as an opportunity, and I realize you think that I have access to wealth and money and all these other things, but if you treat me like an opportunity, then I'm not gonna work with you again. But if you treat me as a partner, right? And that's something like, that's an incredibly foreign concept for them. Right? They just see it as, I got to take advantage of this right now. And I got to get everything I can And no one really speaks to them as that, of like, don't treat me as an opportunity, treat me as a partner, because then we can build relationship and we can continue. So when I come back to you next time, there's trust.
Yeah, and then too, they're probably not used to being treated as an equal.
No.
Like a partner means equal.
Right.
We both have something to contribute to this. So
Absolutely.
now you just spoke to their worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Go ahead. If you guys,
No,
if you.
no, go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to ask him or say something.
No, I'm sorry, yes, thank you. Let me go back to that. To have the insight, because most people, when they're going through what you were talking about, and you could get mad and be aggressive and react on it, but to have the insight to know and understand from their point of view that they do see this as just an opportunity, and then you flip it into speaking in their worth. We talk about that a lot as to, validating a person, and so what you're doing on so many levels and so many tiers are validating these people, and isn't that what it's about, you guys? It's just, being good to people and letting them, then they find themselves and then they can be good to other people and just create such a beautiful effect. So,
yeah. I mean, that's the other thing that's kind of like, we give lights out to people, but really what we try and do is, we want to be not a handout, but a hand up, where we train people how to use these lights, because the lights themselves are only going to last for 4 to 5 years. So we have this whole empowerment program where it's like, you have this 4 or 5 year window to utilize this light, to save money, to start a micro business. Like, what are you going to do with it? And we literally, every person that receives the light, we sit down with them and we lay out like, okay, how much money do you spend every month? How many goods do you spend on kerosene? Okay, so this is what you spend a month, and this is what you spend in 6 months, and this is what you spend in a year. So what's your goal? Do you want to buy a goat in 6 months? Do you want to save all your money and buy a tin roof? Like, what do you want to do with this money, this opportunity? Because it's really giving them their dignity, right? Everybody wants an opportunity, right? But when you give someone the dignity to elevate themselves out of their own situation, it's entirely different than just saying, here's this thing, and then leave.
and not only their dignity, but now you have structure around it. This is it, this is it, this is it. I mean, that
Right.
business 101.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that we say to them is like, we're not going to do this, right? We're going to give you this thing that's an opportunity. What are you going to do with this opportunity? And the thing that I'm very fortunate is I'm photographing and documenting all this, and I use a big lens, and I'm able to get really tight on these faces. And there are people that you can see in their eyes, you can see in their faces, that no one has ever spoke to them in that way.
Like their
right?
light bulbs just go off.
And they're tracking with every moment, you know. And then we tell some of the people, we're like, look, if you get this light and you just use it for comfort at night and you don't do any more with it, well, that's fine. That's your choice. That's what you did with it. And in 4 years, 5 years time, when your light dies, you know, your light dies. So for us, we're not in a position where we want to be showing up every 4 or 5 years and be like, here's a new light, here's a new light. For the program to really be working, they get their light, they see it as an opportunity, and they see how much impact the light has had on their lives, financially, emotionally, their family, that when that light dies, they've saved and they buy the next one.
Oh, that's empowering too, to be able to buy it yourself.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
How long are you typically gone when you take these trips, or when you're?
So it really depends. Like so like in Haiti, you know, we can get down to Haiti in a day, and then we're in Haiti for about, I'd say 6 days or so, 5, 6, 7 days. But when we go to places like the Philippines and Nepal, and it almost takes you 2 days to get there, we're typically there for about 10 to 12 days. because then there's always the logistic problems of once we get in country to actually get to the place that we're serving is always an issue.
You guys make sure, like, Katie and Teresa will make sure that they put the links on the bottom of it, but I mean, not only his photography and the videoing, but like you feel like you're in the moment with them, and like you can see they're in these boats and all these people, and it's just and then everybody's unloading together, and people are excited to see him, and it's a great movie. I mean, it really is to watch it. The first time Sherry showed me, I was like, oh, yeah, it was good stuff. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you ran into any obstacles within your communication with you, like relationships, friends, family members, anything, of that?
I would
with your traveling and what you're doing.
I would say the biggest one, probably, as funny as it's gonna sound, is like my mother and my father still to this day. My mother in particular is always a basket case when we leave, because it's her son and her daughter, and we can be in some. We take every precaution that we can to be safe, but we do realize that we are in places where lawlessness can be really prominent, and we're bringing in product of great value. So in all of my travels, there's been only twice where I was knowingly aware of like, ooh, this is not a really good situation to be in. But it's kind of funny now, but when we were in Kenya, we went into the world's largest garbage dump, where about 35,000 families live off the garbage.
Really?
Yeah, every day. And it's just incredible. There's this city within this garbage dump. And when we were going in, it was my sister and I, and we were in the middle of Kenya, and we were really the only white people going into this garbage dump. And one of the host partner we were working with, she was also Caucasian, and they would not let us go in unless we were with armed guards. So we were literally going into this garbage dump with 4 guys that had AK-47s, and everything went fine. There was absolutely no problem. But then the photographer in me is like, oh, I want to photograph these guys, but of course I had to ask them, and they were very gracious. They were very kind. And then I posted a photo of it, and my mother blew a gasket. She was so angry. She was so upset. And I got a really a distraught mother text when that went up. So
well, as you're saying that, your wife is sitting over here like this, then she went like this, and now her hands are crossed. Yeah, that would be definitely challenging.
Yeah.
Guys, before we go any further, I want you all to meet Sherry. Come here, just say hi. She didn't want to be on camera.
I was just about to be like,
Can you see her? Hi, this is Sherry.
oh,
Yay.
you have to come over.
Oh, come over.
Here.
Oh,
Here you sit in the middle.
there I am.
It's in the middle, honey. This is one.
Sherry, have you come across any difficulties or obstacles within the relationship with that? Knowing he's traveling to serve in impoverished areas.
Not yet. I mean, there's always an element of fear. I'm always concerned about his safety when he goes. So all I really try to do is pray a lot that he gets back, him and the team gets there and back safely and comes home healthy. So
Bless you.
Bless you.
Jim sneezed if y'all didn't catch that. Yeah.
So we need to make sure we'll get that link up so we can. Are there ways for people to support, or
Like donate?
what's the best way to support you? I guess would be a better question.
Sure.
If people want to help.
So we, if you go to Watts, WATTSOF, love.org, we always have means on there for people to donate. and fundraise. We're constantly always fundraising. Like right now, we're getting ready to go back to Puerto Rico. This will be our third time going back to Puerto Rico. And then we have another trip coming up in January back to Haiti. We'll go back to the Philippines in February, and then Guatemala in like March, April. So,
and then don't you do some local fundraising around here too?
Yeah, we don't have anything currently scheduled right now, but we do various events in terms of fundraising here. So we're, that's what it's always about. We're just constantly always seeking out donations to continue to help.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you guys, it feels good to give. It really does. Yeah. Like the day that, we and then we went up to your place too that one day, but the day that Sherry was like, can we do something at the studio? You guys, I'll find pictures. I mean, this was a couple of years ago. I mean, we had 3-year-olds putting together stuff. Like it was just like from 3 to 70 were there helping, and we were just having fun. It was such a great day. And then one day we went out to your place. You have an actual building that you run out of, and we were all just there, and it was just, you're going to be with your friends anyway, so let your hands do some good work, so yeah.
And that's the other thing that I'd say too is there's two things I feel like is always important whenever we talk about helping is not everybody's called to go into the field. They're really not. Not everybody can physically do it, not everybody can do it emotionally. And some people just can't do it, and that's fine, and that we all have different callings. But what I would say is, without the donations, without financial support, we cannot go out and we cannot serve people. And it's really our heart. None of us who are doing this are getting rich, right? None of us are doing this for money motivated purposes. And unless we have people that believe in our mission, we really can't serve and help people. And I always tell people, I'm like, when you make a donation on behalf of the person whose life you've radically changed, that you'll never know and you'll never meet them, I say thank you.
Yeah. Oh, so powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful. And going along with that, like not everyone has it's not their lane. It might not be their lane.
Absolutely.
But your lane can be sitting behind the computer and writing about what you saw, or, there's so many ways to give and so many ways to help. And when you guys see this, and I'm not trying to sound like a freaking commercial, okay, but just share it, because a lot of times people always want to wait until they hit a certain level in their life where they can do something. But why can't you do it now? Why can't you go someplace and volunteer? Why can't you, go and donate $2 to something? You're going to spend $5 at Starbucks, so donate $2 to some cause, sponsor a kid, do something, and it makes you feel so good to give, and it just creates you start drawing in amazing people like this, just because that's the energy you're putting out, that's momentum that you're having in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else you got there, Mr. Jim Vegas?
Slot machines are calling me.
And we got him up before noon. I did ask Jim to send me pictures from Vegas last night, but it didn't happen. So.
I was so tired. I was in bed early.
Okay. So, thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we will. We will have him again, and it won't be a year and a half of asking because our schedules are crazy. But yeah, we would love to. And anything that you have, just let us know, and we'll throw it out there. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you and acknowledge you, because you're just a living inspiration of what we all internally. We have this drive of what we think we should be doing and being able to help, and what you're doing is a true inspiration. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
I
Thank
just
you.
want also people to realize what you were talking about, Jody, was to give. So I love for people to look inside and just see what that looks like to be able to give. And it doesn't have to look as giving anything other than simply sharing the message, because you never know what sharing that somebody else may be able to do. So it doesn't have to look a certain way. So that'd be my challenge for people, is to look at what they can do to help spread messages of true inspiration like yourself. So thank you again.
Thanks.
So I'm gonna
You
go.
guys have a great day.
Okay, I'm gonna go on a little side note with this. Is ladies, there's some good men out there, okay?
Hold on.
Hold on. Don't give up. There's some good men. All right, love you.
Bye.